Welcome to episode number 3 of B True Education Story. I'm your host, Mr. B. This week's episode is going to be a little bit different from what I've been doing because my week it didn't end so hot. When I got home from school on Friday, I recorded a reflection, and that's what I'm going to show you. It was recorded live in one take, so it doesn't quite have the professional production value that B True EDU is known all around the world for having. Uh, but I wanted to record it while it was still fresh. What I had planned for this week will come out next week. It's good, I promise. Thanks for checking this out. So I just got home from my internship. The day I'm recording this, it is Friday. I just got back from school. I wanted to record this, I guess, while it was still fresh. So my inquiry is related to relationships. I wonder how building and fostering relationships, teacher-student and student-student, how establishing those relationships can have an impact on children academically and socially. This is all about relationships. My CT has allowed me to do daily morning meetings, and then once a week on Friday, before the kids go home, I'm allowed to do a team building exercise. And it's a lot of fun. Only today's wasn't. That's why I wanted to record this now. So I started last week, and we did this activity on Friday where a student and I saw a spider the day before outside, and I found she was afraid of spiders, and we were having this good conversation about it. So it kind of, I was thinking about that, and I was like, oh, there's a really cool morning meeting activity where you make a spider web out of a ball of yarn. So we all got in a giant circle. We were standing up, and we took turns. The prompt was, if you could be any animal, what could you be? And you would share your animal, and then you would pick somebody else to share. The person who started has a ball of yarn, so they keep a part of the string, and they pass the ball to the next person who shares. They pick someone else, and they can toss it. Everyone holds the ball, or the little pinch, the string, so at the end you have this giant web. And I was thinking spiders, because the student and I talked about spiders, and we were all talking about what animals we would be. And then you clean up by going reverse. So we did, what animal would you eat? So it went okay. It could have gone better. My CT and I had talked about it afterwards. And I guess what we came to the conclusion that I was having problems with behaviors, and that's why it didn't go perfectly well, like the way I would have wanted it to. And how I should address them right away. And I kind of kept giving them warnings. And at the end, when we had finished, I talked about how I thought we could do better. But really, I should have cut it off as soon as it started. And we were talking about it and what he has done in similar situations. So today's team building activity, we were writing a story. So I started the story. I gave the first sentence, and each person takes a turn adding on a sentence. So at the end, you have this full story that the class can read, and it can be a lot of fun. Kids say funny stuff, so the story, it can be a lot of fun. So we were doing that, and it seemed to be going over pretty well. At first, kids were into it. And and I just kept having to stop everyone um, because kids were talking over each other and they weren't paying attention. Kids were telling each other what to say, and I kept having to stop. And finally, I shut the whole thing down. I was like, we can't do this. Go back to your seats. Um, and I guess that's kind of what I wanted to reflect on. Like, I know I did the right thing. If anything, I should have done it. I should have shut it down sooner. But I feel bad about it, you know. So I sent everyone back to their seats, and what my CT and I had talked about the week prior, something he has done. Um, he sits everyone down, sends them back, and he makes this giant T chart, and he asks the kids, "What did we do right?" And you take hands. Oh, we did this. Oh, we did that. And eventually, it gets to what didn't work so well. What didn't we do right? And you write all those down, and that way you can kind of see. There's a visual for all the kids. What went well and what didn't, and you question them in a way where they're able to reflect on what worked and what didn't, why it got shut down, what to do next time. So I remembered we talked about that. So I didn't plan for it to go the way it did. Like, I didn't think, oh yeah, the kids are gonna get out of hand, I'm gonna have to shut it down. I wasn't thinking about that. That's on me. I should have, not probably, I should have planned for that, because it's always good to have that backup. But I remembered what my CT and I talked about, so that's what I did. We made a chart. I took a picture of it. I'll insert it right here. So we made the chart, and we talked through everything. What went well, what didn't, what we were going to do next week. And I told them, next week, someone does something wrong, they're out. Another person does something wrong, they're out. The third person do something wrong, everyone's out. That's just it. Meeting over. I told them I want to do fun things, and they agreed that it was fun, and they wanted to do it. So those are rules for next week. And I feel bad. I started doing this new thing where I was awarding table points to everyone. I started this week, and the table with the most points at the end of the week, we were going to play Gator Golf. And that was going to happen right after the morning meeting, or not the morning meeting, the team building activity. The table with the most points was going to play Gator Golf, but because everyone had just misbehaved during the team building, didn't do that, and didn't award a point at the end of the day like normal. If the first table would be cleaned up and ready to go, didn't do that either. Gonna finish it on Monday, I guess, and we'll start next week's on Tuesday. And it's kind of disappointing. Kids were looking forward to it, but I feel bad about it. I know I shouldn't. When school ended, I was talking to my CT about it all, and he was talking about how I'm getting better at catching kids doing things and stopping at the moment, but it's still something I need to work on, and developing a teacher voice and finding out who I'm going to be, like what my teacher self is. And it's something I'm still developing, which is normal. I don't think I should know who my teacher self is quite yet. And I want to have fun with kids. I think school should be fun. I want to give them opportunities to do things. And when they aren't, I want to give them warnings. But I also need to know where to draw the line. and I've never had to do that really prior to today, and it stinks. I don't want it to be something I get used to, because I don't want it to happen again, but it is what it is, and it happened, and I wanted to get something down on it before, while it was still fresh.